Hello everybody and welcome to the channel's first manga review. Today we're going to be talking about a yuri romantic comedy manga called The Girl I Want Is So Handsome by Yuama, which you can see right here. I would hold up the actual physical volume, except I lent it to a friend, so that's very hard to do. But let's just get into the review. So it's a very simple sort of meet-cute premise. You have the first-year high school student Hina, who quite literally runs into the second-year basketball star Shiki at the start of the school year and falls head over heels in love. It's a pretty simple story. Hina tries out for the basketball team in an attempt to get closer to Shiki and manages to completely forget about her complete and total athletic ineptitude. But Hina is still able to get a role on the team as the basketball manager, despite her knowing very little about the sport except that it involves throwing a ball at each other. She's very good at catching the ball with her face in comparison to her hands. And so our couple is in a situation where they run into each other on a regular basis. You get a lot of hijinks, you get a lot of comedy, some genuinely sweet romantic moments as their relationship develops from crush into friendship into something truly romantic. It's a lot of fun. The story can easily be described as very gay and very cute, which is a plus in my book. That's exactly what I was hoping for when I picked the volume up and bought it. The manga itself isn't very long. I bought the omnibus, which has both volumes of the manga. It was about 10 chapters, maybe 400 pages for both volumes, and like a bonus little short story at the end. For a manga, I would consider that a fairly light read. I read it across 2 or 3 afternoons. It's a very soothing story. It doesn't have many characters at all. It's maybe 6 named characters, and then like a random teacher or 2 who hovers around the background, that sort of deal. It just doesn't take a lot of mental energy to consume, which I don't mean as a knock against the story by any means. That very compact, fast-paced story is something I really enjoyed. It doesn't fall into some shoujo romance tropes about just spending the entire story being a will they, won't they sort of back and forth, and the story's over when they confess that maybe they do like each other. I suppose I should give a quick warning. I'm not super familiar with Yuri, so as I'm judging it in terms of tropes and stuff, I'm mostly looking through it through the lens of typical sort of shoujo romance anime and manga like Keimeni Todoki or Horimiya. Hopefully I don't lose too much on that, but it was really solid. You get a couple of chapters towards the end where you get to see how they might function as a couple, and you get a couple of nice friendships that develop outside of these two with some of those other side characters. In general, I would say that this hits every single note I would want from an anime rom-com. It really does. It is cute. It's funny, there are some heartfelt moments. There are some moments where that secondhand embarrassment makes you want to look away from the page, and I think that's a plus, especially for a story where you've got this hyper sort of naive, cute little girl going for the distinguished and, what's the word I'm looking for? Elegant, perhaps? Maybe not elegant, the little slightly cooler, more put together older girl. I think it works really well with the juxtaposition therein. If I had a major complaint about the story, it would probably go towards what I was just discussing in its simplicity and the directness of the narrative. It doesn't really try to push the envelope on any of those romance tropes I'm familiar with. It very much works to embody them. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like this is probably an incredible manga to pick up if you're interested in yuri or romance manga and you want to start to learn about them. It's not going to challenge any of the tropes, but it does do them very well. This is just a very clean, precise story that understands what it's trying to do, which is make you watch these two cute girls fall in love and feel some of that cuteness and warmth for yourself. Is this going to appeal to the hardcore Yuri romance fan who wants to see the envelope pushed, who wants to see a story that tries to be so much more than like the core tenets of the genre? Maybe not. But if you want a nice introduction, if you want something that's just sort of comforting to sit down with for an afternoon or two and relax while you're reading it after a long day of work or something, then I would wholeheartedly recommend The Girl I Want Is So Handsome.